Alright, hello. Today we are talking about why I never go Valley on Lakeville from either spawn. So here we are playing the T62A. It's a tier 10 game with probably the best matchmaker you can get for tier 10s, a lot of tier 8s. And we're going to the pretty standard starting position for Lakeville from either side. So we're coming down this middle to see if we can get cross shots, and this lurver here. We're able to put shots right in his side, and we managed to track him. However, our team is not in position to shoot him. So this is kind of the position that I like to play with my medium tanks and tank destroyers at the beginning of the game, at least, is to sit here and wait for cross shots. The T49 isn't spotting anything else, and he didn't even spot the lurver. We did. But we still got over 1,000 damage on that lurver crossing there. And I would be moving farther up, but I saw that there's a lightweight here, so I don't want to get outspotted by him and then be exposed and get killed. So our T49 kind of suicides and jumps off into the lake, which is what it is. He wasn't really being useful anyway. So we're able to kill a lurver there. So it's a good pickup. And now at this point, I'm looking at the minimap, and I'm seeing that we didn't send anyone Valley. Now, the thing about Valley on this map is the terrain there is extremely slow, so it takes a really long time to drive across it, and it's really easily defended. So pushing it is really difficult, and defending it is really easy. So it's basically a useless flank. So I see that there's 3 tanks coming, and they have no resistance. So I'm just going to come back into our spawn here, and I'm just going to shoot them from complete safety as they push through this completely useless flank they're going to. And I'm able to I tracked the 62A, and now I tracked the CDC in the open. And I'm just going to finish off the CDC here. And now we can see that with the CDC included, that was 6 tanks coming through the valley with no opposition. But I feel perfectly safe here because this terrain is so slow. They have to drive through the open to get at us. So we're in a really strong position, and they're not. And that's why I'll never go valley. It's completely disconnected from the rest of the map, and it's extremely slow terrain, and it's very easily defended. So this 62A, he's kind of pressuring our 430, but as long as the 430 stays in a good place, he's safe because I'm here. So I try and track this this E3, but unfortunately it doesn't pen, and I'm just shooting him in the side. Right now, I'm playing pretty exposed here, but I'm totally safe because no one's actually pointing their gun at me, and I'm up high so I can get shots down onto these guys that are in that little position right there. So now I'm kind of alone because there's no one really supporting me. There are guys behind me, but they're not in really effective positions. But I feel pretty safe here because this is somewhat of a hull down right here. So they're gonna have a really hard time dealing with me, and I'm gonna have a really great time dealing with them. So I'm just watching that T62A. He's a one-shot, so if he pokes, I can take him out. This E3, he's in a pretty strong position. So I'm loading the heat. I want to try and hit his lower plate. Unfortunately, I'm making some bad shots. You want to shoot at the middle of the lower plate, not at the edges where it's a little bit stronger. So I've kind of been shooting poorly. And I'm gonna try and shoot this thing on top, but it doesn't really seem to be a weak spot. I guess that was just poor shooting by me. And there we go. That's a shot we want right into the middle of the lower plate with heat. That's gonna go through. And again, so this E3 is in a really bad position now because there's nothing he can really do against us. We're just gonna keep poking hull down, and he can't really pen us without having enough time to aim. T34 here is trying to be more aggressive, but again, we're in a really good position to defend against this this valley play they made. And since they committed so many of their tanks to this really slow, useless valley position, it means that our team has essentially won the city. And since we are basically alone, locking down 6 of their tanks, that's freeing up our team to pressure into the city. So this leopard, he's been a little aggressive. However, I don't want to poke around and take him out because that's going to expose my side to the E3 and the T34. So I just want to work on taking them out one at a time. And just by sitting here, I haven't left the cap circle. I've just been camping this whole game, basically. But for good reason, because I'm in a very strong position against their push here, and we've done over 5,000 damage. So, Leopard comes up, and one of our teammates takes him out. I'm just going to track this E3, because why not? I'm gonna go for the shot on the cheek there, but that was kind of hopeless pen. And I don't have the gun depression here. T62A only has 5 degrees of gun depression, so it makes it a little bit difficult. So, but we're still able to go through the turret. And now this E50M is making the play that they should have made minutes ago when there's still 6 or 7 of them. He rushes me, but fortunately we have the hit points to deal with it, and our team is still behind us, so that's fine. And I just take a hit from the T30 there. I repair the fuel tanks. The 62A has fuel tanks right in the front, so I didn't want to get set on fire with the next shot. And with the renewable consumables in 918, it's fine to just repair those all the time. And now since we had no one in mid, since I had left, their STRV pushed down there, but it's not really a problem because there's nothing he can do, and we just continue farming him, and he's taken out. So basically, we're up to nearly 7,000 damage just by sitting in one little tiny hull down in our cap and defending against that useless Valley push. So that is really why Valley is a pointless play on this map. The only reason you go Valley is a very late game for flanking opportunities, but if you're going Valley early game, you're just going to get locked down, especially if there's already on the enemy team, or literally just 1 or 2 people camping here can defend effectively against 3, 4, 5, or in my case 6 people coming down that flank, just because the terrain is so slow and it takes ages to drive there. So as a 5100 spot in the open, we get some damage on them. We're over 7,000 now, and now it's just pushing into clean up, really. So if I hadn't gone here and I had allowed them to push through Valley, they would have gotten on the cap, and it would have been a lot harder to make a play, because we would have been forced to play down in this position in the JK5. And then we would have been exposed to the city and the middle. So by staying and using this terrain and this ridge, this whole mountain area as cover, we're able to stop it, to stop them from coming into our cap. And now it's just killing the arty for the extra damage. And there we go, we're over 8,000. So it was just a game where it showed that going Valley is useless. Never go Valley, and the only time you go Valley is to defend it and farm over 8,000 damage. So I hope that was somewhat informative, and hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.